everyone, it's SimplyDuckDesigns here, and today I'm back with a video for you guys, and this is mainly about the beginners who want to start duct taping. This video is going to be about what you are going to need if you want to start doing duct tape. A lot of people have asked me if I can give any tips for beginning duct tape and what I can do to help you guys. And there's really not a lot of tips that I can give you guys other than telling you where and what you need to get for your duct tape. And when you think of starting duct tape, you just think, oh, okay, I need a knife and some duct tape. But you're gonna need a lot more than that, actually. So before you guys start going out and buying the stuff that I'm showing you, you wanna make sure that you really wanna do duct tape and that it's not gonna be something that you think is fun a few times and then you're just like, I'm kind of bored with it, because then you spent a whole lot of money on nothing. And who wants to spend money on something that's just gonna sit around and take up space? I know I don't. So I'm just going to go over the few supplies that you're going to need to do basic duct tape crafts. And when I say basic, I mean stuff like bifold wallets and your main kind of wallets, because those are more like beginner crafts. I'm not going to show you guys anything that you're going to need to make like bigger things. But for now, like I said, I'm just going to get into the basics. So instead of me rambling on and on and on, I'm just going to get started and show you all what you're going to need. Okay guys, so obviously the first thing that you're going to need to start out with is actually what you're looking at right now, and this is a cutting surface. If you guys aren't familiar with duct tape and you're just now watching this video to get an idea of what you're going to need, this is what is commonly used for sewing, but a lot of duct tapers use these cutting mats because they help with our measurements and we do things very similar to sewing. This mat right here is actually a special edition mat. It is by Donna Dewberry Collection, I think that's what it's called. I actually just got this mat today, that's why the little sticker is still over here. But this mat is actually 18 by 24 inches. And I don't recommend that you guys get this one the first time you start duct taping. This is actually just, I got a really good price because I used a coupon. It's regularly like $25 and I got it for like $15. But if you guys are just starting out duct tape, I recommend you get this one right here. Boom. This is a regular Fiskars cutting mat. You can find this at Walmart for about $10, I think, which is probably not the cheapest, but it's one of the cheaper ones because this is what pretty much every duct taper uses. It's a great beginner mat because it's pretty cheap, but yet it's big enough for you guys to do all your simple crafts on, like bifolds and all different kinds of wallets. So as far as cutting mats go, you should definitely try this one. You can find this at Walmart in the sewing section. So this is definitely the one I recommend you guys start out with. If you guys continue to do duct tape for a while and you find that you need to have more space for more projects, then you should probably upgrade to a bigger mat. Now moving on to another supply that you guys are going to need, and this is a ruler. Now, listen carefully. You guys need to buy a metal ruler. I know that sounds ridiculous to say you need to buy it, but it's true because I have tried to get out of buying a metal ruler because I'm kind of a cheap person. I don't want to go out and buy something if I don't have to. So I tried everything. I tried using plastic, I tried using wooden when I first started duct tape, and it was a total disaster because every time you use your X-Acto knife, it cuts out bits of the plastic and the wood, and it's just a whole big mess. So if you have a ruler like this is just a wooden ruler, don't use this for duct tape. This is the kind of ruler that you want to use. This is a metal ruler. Now, do not get the one that I am holding right here. I got this at Target for only a few dollars. It's this really pretty metallic shade, but the thing is, all the measurements wore off after a while because of the metallic. Luckily, because I have the cutting mat, I don't need to worry about that too much, but still, I wouldn't recommend to everyone to use one that doesn't have measurements on it. It'll help you out in the long run if it does. So you definitely want to try to get a nice metal ruler. I know Westcott has a really good metal ruler. Fiskars probably has one. Just any brand will do, just as long as it's metal. Any kind of craft store, Joann's, Michael's, any place at all, you can probably find a metal ruler. And this brings me to my next supply that you guys definitely need. It's just part of the duct taping world. You can't really survive without one. You're going to need an X-Acto knife. Ignore my old rusty knife. This hasn't been used in quite some time, but this is the knife that I started out using. It is the X-Acto brand X-Acto knife, and this is just an old one that I haven't used in quite some time, like I said. But this is the perfect knife that you can start out with. It's just a simple X-Acto knife with a simple blade, and you can also replace the blade once yours goes dull. So you can definitely start out with this one. I think I got mine for about $5, something like that. You can find this at anywhere, Walmart, Joann's, Michael's, any place like that that sells craft supplies. But if you're looking for something that's a little easier to hold, this is the one that I use now, which is an actual X-Acto brand as well. And this is just with a nice gripper and everything. It's just a lot more comfortable to hold in your hand, and you can also replace the blade. So you don't need to start out with a big fancy one, but if that's what you're into, you can also get this. I got mine on Amazon for about $10. The next thing you're going to need, which I've just found, it really helps make things easier. You're not going to always need scissors, but there's a lot of times that I get like tape off like my duct tape panels and stuff when I'm making crafts, and you just don't really feel like cutting it, because sometimes when you cut it with an X-Acto knife, it kind of lumps up and it doesn't get cut off. So that's what I use scissors for. These are the scissors I used to use. They're just these plain old scissors. I don't really know where I got these. They're just an old pair I had laying around the house. But the thing is, if you use regular scissors, you're going to get duct tape stuck on a lot of your blades. As you can see, mine are really gunky, and they still work, but they are a little difficult. That's what's going to happen to your regular pair of scissors. Now you can also upgrade, and you can get non-stick scissors, which are more expensive, but they will last you much longer. If you are going to get some non-stick scissors, I recommend that you support Duct brand and get the Duct brand scissors. I really like these. I got these recently, and they were in my last haul video, and I just really like them. They're so much easier to use than just the regular scissors, and they're very comfortable to hold, and I think if you guys got these, they're really enjoyable. But you don't need to get these. If you're going to simply use this to cut off excess tape, regular scissors should do the trick for a while. Okay, so now our next supply is clear tape. So right here I just have this Duct brand Easy Start clear tape, and this tape is in a smaller container. This is the one I just had laying around the house to show you guys, but you can get any kind of clear tape you want. It really doesn't matter, but a lot of people like to use HD clear, and a lot of people actually use Scotch tape for their clear tape because it just holds up a lot stronger. Scotch specializes in more clear tapes and regular tape, stuff like that, than they do duct tape. So naturally that's going to be a little bit better, since Duct brand specializes in duct tape and not so much clear tape. But Duct brand or Scotch will do the trick. You just want to make sure that you have a pretty clear one. And this is going to be to clear tape seams on your wallet so no gunk gets in between there. You can also use them to cover up the backs of your card pockets so you don't waste tape. And you can also use this to cover up the sticky in the bottom of the card pockets. Moving on to the next thing you're going to need is Velcro. This is just what I use. I just use regular sticky back Velcro. What this does is this is for your women's wallets and portfolios and stuff like that. First thing I'm going to give you guys a tip is do not use Velcro on your bifolds. It's so tempting when you first start duct taping, and usually a bifold is what you first make. It's what you should make because it's one of the more easier ones. But do not put Velcro on your bifolds, and that's because they're going to stay shut whether you have Velcro or not, and it will waste your Velcro if you put it on a bifold, since it's just going to stay shut anyway. It's very tempting to do because it makes your wallet seem a little more professional than it would without it, but it's fine. You don't need to put Velcro on a bifold. So that's what you're going to need sticky back Velcro for. You can find this at Walmart, Michael's, Joann's, anywhere, especially craft stores. Don't go to Target to look for Velcro because they don't have it. At least mine doesn't. And something that's almost just as important as Velcro, you're going to need some ID plastic. These are top loader plastics. They're made for baseball cards, but I just buy these regular top loader plastics. I get these at a local flea market for about $1. You can check your local flea markets because they might have them, but they're also in the trading card section of Walmart. The last part is obviously you're going to need some duct tape to start out your duct taping because you can't really do it without it. So from my own experiences, I've learned that it's best to buy a Duct brand when you first start out, because if you buy other brands that aren't really the best when it comes to their duct tape, and aren't as known for it and don't really specialize in it, it's going to make your crafting a lot more difficult. So it's very tempting to go out and buy, say, a Scotch brand, because Scotch brand usually is cheaper now because they mark down their different older tapes a lot. So you can probably find a old Scotch brand for not very much. It's just gonna make your duct taping harder because it's very thin tape, which means it's going to curl up on you and it's not going to be as easy to fold evenly. So I don't recommend you go out and buy a Scotch tape for your first time. Now that doesn't mean that you can't use Scotch tapes eventually. You obviously can, but you want to wait until you're a more experienced duct taper, because then it's a little easier on you to use those tapes. Which means when you first start out, like I said, stick to Duct brand. Now when you first start, what you want to do is you want to stick to just picking 2 tapes that you really like. And what you're going to do is you're going to get a solid color, because usually you're going to get 20 yards on a solid color unless it's a special color. And you want to try to get a pattern that's going to go well with your solid. You just want to make sure you go out and get a pattern and a color that match pretty well so you can go ahead and start crafting right away. So that's basically it, guys. Comment down below what you guys think, if you're going to start duct taping, if you have already started duct taping. Hopefully you guys learned a few more things. So as always, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you all in the next. Bye guys!